Hey, Coach Luka back here with another episode of Ask Luka. And today I'm going to answer the question that a number of clients and just people that basically email or message me asking about that they just can't control their willpower, or just essentially saying like, willpower is not working with the habits that I'm changing, that I'm wanting to change. And so here's the reality, right? That you have obviously good habits that you want to do more of, and quote unquote bad habits that are taking you away from your goals that you want to do less of. And the truth is that we do things because they're easy for us, right? That's the truth. Like if something is in your way or you're used to it, you're going to continue to do it. So one of the ways that we coach on improving, let's just say, habits that are going to get you to your goals and doing more of them, and removing habits that are taking you away from your goals, is to decrease or increase something that's called activation energy. So activation energy is essentially how much energy it takes to start something, right? It's way more difficult. So if you're used to doing something and you want to start a new habit, whether it's adding protein to every meal, drinking more water, whatever it may be, right? It takes activation energy. So we rely too much on willpower, trying to fight this change versus putting good things in our way. Now, let me give you an example of this. Okay, so if you are at home and you get triggered and you have ice cream in the fridge, it's in your way. It literally takes you probably not even seconds if you're in the kitchen to take it out and start eating the ice cream. Now, if you made it more difficult to eat that ice cream, the chances, not even the chances, it's proof, studies show that it's gonna be way, way, way more likely for you to eat it. Now, you still have the choice of being able to eat it, but guess what? If you take the ice cream out the house, now you gotta go to the store and get it. Now, that may take 10 minutes, 15 minutes more, or, and most of the time you're not gonna do that because it takes too much work. It takes too much activation energy. So that's a perfect example of, making something more difficult, increasing the activation energy, and thus you're gonna drop the chances of you going and doing that bad habit. Now, another perfect example is my issue of not drinking enough water every day. And this has been a thing for a while, but not until so even throughout the day, if I'm thirsty, I'm always running around doing stuff, got a ton of stuff to do. Even if I have to go to the store, which is not even a couple of minutes away to get water, I won't do it. Whereas now we just stack the water inside of the office. So when I walk into the office, I'm literally walking into the water. And what I found is that now I'm drinking 4 small bottles a day, just because it's right there. It literally takes more energy not to do it than to do it. And so the question for you is, how do you make things more accessible, that the good habits accessible to where they're in your way, and remove some of the bad habits? Some great examples that we've talked about before are, for instance, food prep, right? So if you know that you end up snacking on things that are taking you away from your goals, behaviors that are taking you away from your goals, but you create and prepare foods and snacks that you enjoy, you know that you're gonna want to eat them, but they're right there. So as you get hungry, you snack on them, right? So that's one perfect example. Another one, as crazy it may seem, if it's tough for you to get up in the morning and get that workout in, it's you wake up and literally everything is set up, your sneakers, your training shoes. And I would even go as far as, we've done this to where people would sleep in their training gear, wake up, and they would increase 60, 70% of the workouts that they do just because of that, right? Because it's easier. You've set yourself up. You put it in the way. Now, I got this example also from someone that was learning guitar and explaining to me that he had a goal of learning guitar for the next 21 days because that's how long the habit is supposed to take. And just couldn't get to do it, and realized that it took him about 30 seconds to get the guitar from out of the room, set up, and start playing. And when he changed that and ended up putting a stand in his living room, putting the guitar in the stand, that he would be bumping into the guitar, he did 17 out of 21 days, the second 21-day phase. Perfect example, creating, running into good habits and making them easily accessible and making them harder if they're bad habits. It goes for everything, as, checking your email, or if you have a tough time staying off of social media, you can get a Freedom app on your computer, which blocks you out. And then you'd have to restart your computer and put in all these codes before you get back on it, right? It becomes complicated. So even though you're trained to go on social media, now you don't want to go because you know how long it'll take before your computer restarts and your work restarts. So I just want you to think about how you can decrease the activation energy to put good habits in your way, right, into your life. Like literally you have to bump into them and you make it easy for yourself, right? So you're making good habits easier to do, and you're making bad habits way, way harder to do, because then the likeliness of you doing them decreases, period. Because we are programmed to just do the easier thing. So why not prepare and put good things in our way and bad things way out of the way, so we're just gonna be less likely to move them forward. So write out some of the things that you wanna change and put bullet points next to it on how you can make them way easier to do, whether it's food prep, whether it's doing a kitchen makeover and taking all the triggering foods out of your house, whether it's putting training clothes on, whether it's committing to a workout buddy, whatever it may be, whether it's, like I said, carrying water in your car or putting it right in your office, whether it's having protein snacks so you get enough protein in throughout the day, write them out. You know what your obstacle is, bullet point it out, and get to work on doing these, and then just pick one. Just pick one and start working on it. Make it easier, make the hard stuff a lot harder. I'll see you in the next Coach Luka.